I try to picture me without you, but I can't. 'Cause we can be immortals, immortals, just not for long, for long. My bad, I'm sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry about that, guys, my fault. My bad. That was a me moment. How are we doing? How are we doing? J-Rock back with another reaction video. For this one, we got a video explaining how good Michael Jordan was, actually. So, me wanting to learn more about MJ since I didn't grow up watching him at all as a kid, it's been quite the journey. I've seen a lot of things, seen a whole bunch of insane, crazy highlights, crazy vids. Man, MJ was like that for real, and I guess there's just more for me to learn. So we about to get straight into this video. I ask that y'all subscribe, like if you are new, join this journey with me. Let's get it.
50 points or more in the playoffs 8 times.
Oh my
more
gosh.
than Kobe, KD, LeBron, and Wilt combined.
Oh my gosh.
Jordan also had the most 40-point playoff games. More than Kareem, AI, Steph, and D-Wade put together.
Okay.
In fact, MJ is the only player in NBA history who had more 40-point career games than games where he scored less than 20 points. Jordan's godlike aura, brutal...
Okay. So see, they breaking this all the way down. This is what I like. No, this is what I like. This is what I like. Break it down to me so I can really understand in my mind why this brother was just so different than everybody else. Yeah, break it down to me like that. I like this.
Trash talk and physical dominance put fear in opponents' hearts.
Right.
And while they had to get a good night's sleep before facing the Bulls, Jordan could drink and smoke cigars before the game.
I heard.
And still drop 40. His airness made it look easy. And he proved it when the games were on the line.
Game on the line. Who would take the last shot?
Me. 28 times.
You gotta think about that. Why would you even ask me that question? He looks so crazy. He like, guy, I'm right here. What are we doing? What the freak?
Jordan scored. Airness
My bad for
made it
pausing.
look easy. And he proved it when the games were on the line.
Game on the line. Who would take the last shot?
Me.
Come on now.
28 times Jordan scored the game-winning shot, including 7 game winners in the playoffs.
That's tough.
And MJ wasn't just a scorer. He had the most first-team all-defense selections ever with 9. He's the all...
He got 9 all defensive first teams? What the hold up. No, wait. He got 9 all defensive first teams? 9 up? If Michael Jordan got 9, Scotty gotta have like 6 or 7. I didn't try to do that. I ain't try to do that. All right, y'all, leave me alone. I ain't try to do that. But man, MJ got 9 all defensive teams? 9 of them? 9 though. So he was really playing defense for real. No, he was. I seen the video of him and Scotty just locking up everything. That's that. Yeah, that's that. Okay. Yeah, he was really playing D. Okay.
The game-winning shot, including 7 game winners in the playoffs.
That's tough.
And MJ wasn't just a scorer. He had the most first-team all-defense selections ever with 9.
Oof.
He's the all-time blocks leader by a guard, and has the most seasons with over 200 steals.
Oh my
6. In 1989, when the Bulls lost their starting point guard, Coach Doug Collins made Jordan play the point. And he notched 10 triple-doubles in 11 games.
That's tough.
Averaging 30 points, 11 assists, and 9.5 rebounds per game.
Switched his position, bro. Switched the brother's position, and he went off to just go on a triple-double spree as a point guard. I didn't know that. That's the stuff I want to hear. Let me know something I never heard before.
Doug Collins made Jordan play the point, and he notched 10 triple-doubles in 11 games, averaging 30 points, 11 assists, and 9.5 rebounds per game.
My goodness.
Between 1991 and 1996, MJ played 13 consecutive playoff series, where he averaged more than 30 points per game, retiring with 6 rings, 5 MVPs, and a 6-0 record in the final.
That's insane.
But despite his seemingly invincible legacy, Jordan did have some weaknesses. MJ led the NBA in field goal attempts 9 times during his 13 years in Chicago.
Okay.
And he was a bit of a ball hog, especially in his early career. Jordan also had some bad playoff games.
Yeah.
And he certainly wasn't the most pleasant teammate.
Yeah.
So, how good was Michael Jordan actually?
Let's do it.
Is he really the GOAT?
Let's do it. Let's do
To
it.
answer that, we'll start with his genetics and God-given talent. Michael Jordan was supposed to be short. Nobody in his family was taller than 5'9".
Really?
As a high school sophomore, Michael was famously cut from his varsity basketball team because he was only 5'11".
Yeah.
It sounds sad, but it's true.
However, the Jordans were blessed with supreme athleticism. Just look at Michael's older brother Larry, who could dunk at 5'8".
Okay.
So when an unexpected
So he wasn't even supposed to be 6. What? 6? How tall MJ is? Like 6'5", 6'6"? He wasn't even supposed to be that tall. He was bound to be athletic, like brother said, it's in his genes. He was gonna be athletic regardless. Shoot, he might have been the best player ever in 5'10", 5'11". We never know, because the brother gained like 4 more inches, 5, 6 more inches. So he wasn't even supposed to. That's crazy work. That's crazy.
Sounds sad, but it's true.
However, the Jordans were blessed with supreme athleticism.
That's tough.
Just look at Michael's older brother Larry, who could dunk at 5'8". So when an unexpected growth spurt pushed Michael to 6'6", he became unstoppable.
Crazy.
By the end of his high school career, Jordan was averaging 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists.
Cooking.
But despite his unreal speed and athleticism, young MJ was still an unpolished gem, because he really only played 2 years of high school basketball. As a freshman at UNC, MJ averaged a modest 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game.
Okay.
He was the third leading scorer on the team behind James Worthy and Sam Perkins. And
Oh,
his
so he was
fundamental-
the third. Okay. I see. I love the come up story. This is something I love watching. I love a player's come up story. I can do more of these if y'all want me to. I can even do it with Larry Bird. Like, bro, I love a player's come up story because it shows like their entire road to end up being what they eventually were. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is awesome. This is great right here. No cap. So you mean to tell me, shoot, James Worthy was supposed to be that boy for real. MJ said, hold on. Hey, let me. Okay, I got you.
Russell's ball handling and confidence weren't yet at a super high level. But all that changed in the 1982 NCAA Finals, when Michael hit a game-winning shot against Patrick Ewing, winning the national championship.
18. Shot. Jordan, North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship.
Jordan said this was the biggest turning point of his career, because after that, his confidence was through the roof.
That turned my name from Mike to Michael Jordan. It gave me the confidence that I needed to start to excel at the game of basketball.
In the next 2 seasons, Jordan continued his basketball education under Dean Smith and became a complete player. He averaged 20 points per game, was a consensus first-team All-American, and as a junior in 1984, he was named Collegiate Player of the Year. But based on his college career alone, it was hard to predict that Jordan would reach the pinnacle of the NBA. After all, many great players who came before Michael had far better college careers, including Kareem, Magic, Bird, Bill Walton, Bill Russell, Oscar Robertson, David Thompson, Pete Maravich.
Oh my gosh, you had some ghosts. Oh my gosh, look, that's some legends right there. That's some legends right there. And they performed, and they were better college players than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan said, "I'm coming for it all." Boy, Michael Jordan said, "Man, I'm coming for it all." And what he did? Oh man, that's A. So MJ was really like the underdog for real. MJ was really an underdog. If you think about it, I could be wrong, but shoot, MJ was really an underdog. And he really,
and a few others. Because of his relatively modest numbers in college, and because the 80s were the era of the big men, Jordan was selected 3rd in the 1984 NBA draft, behind centers Hakeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie.
He's only 6'6", so how much can he really do?
We wish he were 7'1". But he isn't.
However,
I mean, 6'6" is pretty freaking tall.
Bulls coach to call the general manager and say, "You didn't mess up the draft this time."
For the first day of practice, my mentality was,
bro, 6'6" is tall.
That team, I'm going after him. And I'm not going to do it with my voice because I had no voice. I have to do it with the way that I play.
Exactly.
When the season started, it took Jordan only 3 games to score over 30 and 9 games to eclipse 40.
Wait. It only took him 3 games to get 30. And he was the 3rd pick? Only took him 3 games to get 30. It only took him 9 games to get 40. That's not normal, right? I just want to make sure that's not normal, right? That's not normal, right? Y'all let me know. I could be tripping, but hold on. That's kind of crazy.
You didn't mess up the draft this time.
For the first day in practice, my mentality was, whoever is the team leader on that team, I'm going after him. And I'm not going to do it with my voice because I had no voice. I have to do it with the way that I play.
When the season started, it took Jordan only 3 games to score over 30 and 9 games to eclipse 40.
Oh my
By the end of the first month, it was obvious that Jordan was supposed to be the first overall pick. While Olajuwon looked like a star, Jordan was more like a supernova.
You think?
There was nobody in the league faster than him. It seemed almost unfair how he blew past opponents with just a single step, who had no answer for his drives to the basket.
Crazy.
On top of his speed, Jordan was also the most athletic player in the NBA.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Unmatched vertical jump and hang time. When he drove to the cup, it looked like he was a fighter jet, and his quickness served as a runway for his vertical takeoff. When MJ raised up for a jump shot, it seemed like nobody was ever guarding him, because the laws of gravity didn't seem to apply to Michael.
That's what I'm
Defenders
saying.
could jump at the same time, but as they would inevitably fall down, Jordan would continue.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, when Michael Jordan, like, shoot his jump shot, like, he's jumping. Like, he's legit jumping. I think that's why, like, you seen the contest, but you knew the contest didn't really matter because Michael was just higher than whoever was trying to guard him. He was just higher. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro.
Continue to float in the air and shoot completely unbothered.
How's the transition been from college to the NBA?
Well, I think it's been pretty easy.
Thanks to his high-flying feats and insane dunks, Jordan quickly became the most popular player in the NBA. So it only made sense that in 1986, he got voted to the All-Star game, despite playing just 3 games up to that point due to an ankle injury. And that same year, in the playoffs, he set a playoff scoring record with 63 points against Boston.
But it was an incredible playoff performance. I've never seen it before, and I had never seen it after.
Frying Bird.
Michael Jordan.
And Bird's up.
Guys as Michael Jordan.
As if MJ wasn't doing enough already, in 1987, MJ led the NBA in scoring with 37 points per game, which was and remains the 5th best scoring output ever, behind only Wilt's insane scoring feats of the early 1960s.
I just want the franchise and Chicago Bulls to be
Hold on, I just wanted to ask a question. I just want to ask a question, bro. Wait, was it Wilt or was it Kareem that dropped 100 points? I could be wrong.
And remains the 5th best scoring output ever, behind only Wilt's insane scoring feats of the early 1960s.
I just want the franchise and Chicago Bulls to be respected as a team. It's very hard for something like that to happen, but it's not impossible.
Meanwhile, Jordan was miserable. Despite all the fame and individual accolades, he was always losing. In his first 3 seasons, MJ only won 1 playoff game, despite being the best player in the league. But after the Bulls GM Jerry Krause drafted Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, his life would change forever. In 1988, MJ averaged 35 points on 54% shooting, with 6 rebounds and 6 assists, winning his first career MVP. Because he also led the NBA in steals with 3.2 plus 1.6 blocks per game, Jordan won the Defensive Player of the Year. And he is still one of only 5 players ever to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP.
That's tough.
And after the 1988 dunk contest against Dominique Wilkins, which is considered by many to be the best of all time, some people already started calling him the best player they have ever seen.
That's gotta be a 50.
But none of that mattered.
That's a
because
60.
The most important thing to Jordan was winning. And now with Pippen and Grant on the team, the Bulls had their first 50-win season.
I didn't know the Bulls drafted Pippen.
Chicago then
I'm learning.
In the playoffs, winning the
I didn't know they
first round
drafted
over the
Pippen.
Cavaliers, with MJ averaging an insane 45 points per game. However, in the second round, a more
45
experienced
points per game. Hold on, I don't want to lose track of what I'm listening to. Hold on.
most important thing to Jordan was winning. And now with Pippen and Grant on the team, the Bulls had their first 50-win season since 1974. Chicago then finally advanced in the playoffs, winning the first round over the Cavaliers, with MJ averaging an insane 45 points per game.
Wow.
However, in the second round, a more experienced Pistons team defeated the Bulls pretty easily, 4 games to 1. It was proof that individual greatness doesn't translate to playoff wins. A lesson Jordan had yet to learn. But that didn't make him any less entertaining to watch. In the 1989 season, Jordan hit his first legendary shot in the NBA, simply known as the shot.
That's when he hit that?
In the second round, the Bulls got past the Knicks, but they again fell victim to the Pistons.
Okay.
Bullied Jordan with their physicality.
Okay, so the Pistons was the big dogs. Okay. So Michael really had to like triumph over a lot of things like coming into the league. It wasn't that easy for Michael Jordan at first when it comes to a winning standpoint. He actually had to go through certain accolades to eventually get to the top. I didn't. So this okay. This is what I'm talking about. Let me know the whole breakdown of how Michael Jordan became Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He was the best player in the league, but his team was losing. They didn't have nobody. You go draft Horace Grant and freaking Scottie Pippen. You win your first. You go off to have a 50-win season. Now you're in the playoffs. Now you gotta get over the hump of beating that Detroit Pistons team that then beat you twice already when you face them in the play. I love the build up. I love the build up. Yes, the build up, and then overall the overcoming. Come on, man.
In 1990, it was more of the same. MJ led the NBA in scoring and steals. He was super efficient, but the team couldn't get over the hump and get past the Detroit Pistons for a third consecutive year.
Oh, 3 years in
his
a
first
row?
6 years in the league.
Boy, the
MJ
Pistons
had
was
won
like that
5
for real.
playoff series and lost 6.
They was like, no,
With an overall
Jordan.
playoff record of 25 wins and 29 losses.
Hold on.
In his first 6 years in the league, MJ had won 5 playoff series and lost 6. With an overall playoff record of 25 wins and 29 losses.
Ooh.
So after that third loss to the Pistons, the media started doubting Jordan, questioning his ability to play team basketball.
Gotcha.
And wondering if he was only concerned about himself and his numbers.
Okay.
And in a way, they were right. In the 80s, he was often trying to score out of double or even triple teams, ignoring his wide-open teammates. In 1989, he was a capable passer, averaging a career-high 8 dimes per game. But Jordan always
So
looked
he
to
really
score
had to
first
adapt even
and
more to the
pass
game.
second. And he wasn't like Magic, Jokic, or Doncic, who manipulate defenses with their eyes and fake defenders into wrong coverages. Jordan's passing was more reactive. He got rid of the ball only when he saw that somebody was wide open.
Gotcha.
And since Jordan was like a black hole that sucked all the defensive attention, when he did opt to pass, it was usually for an easy dunk.
Gotcha.
But despite MJ's ridiculous scoring numbers, the Bulls' offense was always average during the 80s, and they were actually at their best in 1986, when Mike missed 80% of the season due to an ankle injury. It wasn't until 1990, the arrival of Phil Jackson and the emergence of Scottie Pippen,
Now we about to start
that the
cooking,
Bulls'
huh?
offense cracked the top 5 in the NBA. Pippin's passing and pushing the ball in the open court created lots of space for Jordan, who could finally trust someone else to make plays for him consistently. But Pippin's value was maybe even more pronounced on the defensive end.
Yeah.
With an enormous wingspan, agility, and a motor to cover multiple players on one possession, Scottie was just what
Scotty
Michael
was a freaking animal, bruh. Scotty was a freaking animal. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. After those first few years, man, Scotty got bigger in size, and bro, he just started locking up everything. As far as what I've seen, he started locking up everything, moving, and like, bro, I'm starting to realize that Michael Jordan didn't just come to the NBA just, you know what I'm saying, Michael Jordan. Like, he had to adapt to how the game was played, and he had to adapt to having a team surrounded by him. Him still being the best player on the floor, but him being able to know when to get his teammates open and when to get his teammates wide open shots, dunks, etc. That really opened up his game as well. So it's a lot to take in, but I'm here for the lesson. I love a good lesson. I love a good lesson.
Michael was missing. Pip's presence allowed Michael to play free safety on defense, jump into passing lanes for steals.
That's when they was
and he
locking
didn't
everything
need to
up.
waste his energy guarding the best opposing player, because Scottie usually did that. And after agonizing defeats against the Pistons, MJ decided to bulk up, which was unprecedented at the time. Players didn't spend much time in the gym. And if you look at all the players in the 80s, they looked lean. But hardly anyone was super muscular. So when MJ returned for the 1991 season, he was still super quick, athletic, and could contort his body in the air like no one else.
Gotcha.
But this time around, he was also much stronger.
He had to put on some more muscle for them boys.
Contact better and bully smaller players with his size. What also helped Michael was the arrival of coaches Phil Jackson and Tex Winter, who instituted the triangle offense, which was based on cutting in open spaces and playmaking.
Hold on, I'm sorry, bro, because I ain't gonna lie. Shoot, it's like when Phil get in a situation, everything just changed. I don't know what it was with that little triangle offense, but boy, Phil cooked with that one. Shout out to you, Phil. I ain't gonna lie. You made Phil sound like a cool name to have, Phil. No cap. Shout out to you, Phil. I don't know what this little I still don't even know the overall aspect. Like, I get the I get the overall idea of the triangle, but just the idea of how to even come up with something like the triangle offense, that is freaking crazy. Freaking crazy. Would y'all say he the greatest coach of all time? Would y'all say that? Because I ain't gonna lie, Phil, it seemed like every time Phil went to a different team, when he left the Bulls, went to the Lakers, like it was the same. Like, let's cook. let's just beat everybody. What the freak?
Making out of the post. If executed properly, the triangle was believed to be the most optimal offense to optimize space.
I've heard and seen.
MJ didn't have to bring up the ball all the time and force his shots. And he was receiving the ball closer to the basket, where he'd bully smaller defenders and dominate like never before.
Got you.
Even though Jordan was phenomenal from
so
the
Kobe took out of that
into the NBA, in 1991, he was at his best, and he won his second MVP award. The 91 Bulls had the best offense in the NBA, and they crushed the opposition in the Eastern Conference. They swept the Knicks, beat the 76ers in 5, and then finally got their revenge against the Pistons.
Tough.
This time, it wasn't even close, as Detroit was on the decline after 3 straight NBA Finals trips, while the Bulls were ascending. MJ swept Isaiah and the Pistons, who famously left before the final buzzer of Game 4, refusing to shake the Bulls' hands.
Okay. See that? So that's how that went about. I always seen that clip, but I ain't I didn't realize why like Isaiah and like the team kind of did that. Like they was just pissed off because Michael Jordan finally beat them. And they can go ahead and take their little tails home. The freak, y'all been the top dogs for the past 3 seasons. Y'all blasted through the Bulls. The first 3 playoff matchups that y'all had against them. And then when Michael Jordan beat y'all want to be salty. Y'all want to be salty. The one time Michael Jordan beat y'all, first time he beat y'all want to be salty. Y'all beat him the last 3 seasons. Why are we salty? Man, shake that brother's hand. What we doing?
While the Bulls were ascending,
Come on.
MJ swept Isaiah and the Pistons, who famously left before the final buzzer of Game 4, refusing to shake the Bulls' hands.
That's crazy.
We finally got over the hump of losers mentality. We were starting to become a winning franchise. And, this guy was the limit.
But in the NBA Finals, another legend awaited. Magic Johnson. And it seemed like the 5-time NBA champion still had the upper hand when the Lakers defeated the Bulls at home in Game 1. That is, until Phil Jackson made the adjustment to have Pippen guard Magic, which turned the series
Pippen started locking him up.
In Game 2, Jordan dazzled the world with another iconic move, switching hands mid-air to score an acrobatic layup.
See, I've seen that clip many a time since I've been watching like this journey of watching Michael Jordan. I never really got to dissect it. That brother, when he jumped, his hand was already at the rim. Like his hand and the ball was already at the freaking rim. And he gonna decide at the very last freaking second to just switch it around and do a reverse with the left. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, MJ. Oh my goodness. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. And people would say that all the layups that Jordan do and stuff like that, NBA players do it regularly today. I don't know if I agree with that take. That's a crazy. I don't know if I agree with that. I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to the athleticism and just being able to just at any time that you want just switch it around like that, like bro, you got some guys that can finish like that in the NBA. But man, Michael Jordan, we ain't by that. I can't compare that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was different. It was different for sure, and you could see it. I ain't gonna lie, it showed. No cap.
The Bulls won the next 4 games, and at last, the championship. Jordan's hunger for an NBA ring was finally satisfied.
That's his first one.
Throughout the
He beat
playoffs,
Magic for his first one?
31 points,
That's
8.5 assists, 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 steals, and 1.5 blocks, shooting a career-high 56% from the field.
Nice.
Jordan is the most talented player in the NBA, by far.
And the 1992 season was a continuation of peak form for Jordan and the Bulls. Another scoring title with super efficient shooting, first team all defense, and another MVP for his airness.
Wow.
The Bulls once again had the best offense in the NBA and won a franchise record 67 games. Chicago reached the finals against the Trailblazers, and the media pushed the narrative that Clyde Drexler was better than Jordan.
Don't push the narratives.
Jordan is not a good outsider.
Don't push the narratives. Don't push those type of narratives. Come on now, y'all know better. Y'all know better. Don't push those type of narratives against freaking MJ. Are you serious? It's just gonna be even worse. It's gonna be even worse for y'all. Gonna push certain narratives. Don't do that. Y'all just shut. Y'all just gotta be quiet and just watch basketball. I ain't gonna lie, because you make it worse for the person that y'all trying to praise up and the person and the person that y'all trying to put down. You know what I'm saying?
Night shooter. So MJ responded by nailing 6 threes and 35 points in the first half of Game 1, which was a finals record for both.
He don't even shoot threes like that.
In what will forever be remembered as the Shrug game.
Come on, bro.
And even though Portland tied the series at 2 apiece, the Bulls were just too good. And they won the series in 6, with MJ averaging 36 points in the finals. After the second finals and the Dream Team experience in Barcelona, Pippen and Jordan came into the 93 season with an empty tank. The Bulls weren't as dominant in the regular season. But even though he was tired, MJ still led the NBA in scoring, which was his 7th scoring title in a row. And
wait, so you mean to tell me that this season, 93, I guess what, Jordan and Scottie was tired, and you mean to tell me that Jordan still averaged the most points in the league out of everybody and got another scoring title? Was he really that tired? Was he really that tired? I think he had more in the tank. And
he also led the league in steals. Chicago made it to a 3rd consecutive finals, where they faced league MVP Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns, the best team in the regular season.
They just frying at this point.
Barkley was also the best player on the Dream Team, and when he won the MVP, many people believed that he could be an even better player than Michael, which pissed off Jordan. But because of the Suns' inexperience and Barkley's nasty elbow injury, the Bulls won the first 2 games on the road, and it seemed like it would be smooth sailing to the next title. However, the Suns weren't going away that easily. They won games 3 and 5 in Chicago, and they could have won game 4 too, if it wasn't for Jordan.
That motherfucker would not let me win that game.
Who buried the Suns with 55 points, the second highest scoring game in NBA Finals history.
And Michael just outplayed me. That was probably the first time in my life that I felt like there was a better basketball player in the world than me, to be honest with you.
After 5 games, it was 3-2 for the Bulls, but the remaining 2 games were to be played in Arizona. In Game 6, the Suns had the lead throughout the 4th quarter, but Jordan kept the Bulls in the game, and everybody expected Jordan to take the final shot to tie the game. But MJ wasn't the same stubborn player as before. And he gave up the ball early to set up an open shot for John Paxson.
Being unselfish, hey, that plays a crucial role in winning too. When you know you're the guy, but you got to understand the fact that it ain't gonna always be you that take the last shot. Ooh, Jordan is understanding it. Jordan was understanding. Yeah, that's some GOAT talk right there. That's some GOAT talk. That's some GOAT talk right there. That's the stuff LeBron be doing.
That was it.
That's goatish.
And MJ's legacy was set.
That's goatish.
Jordan finished the 93 finals with averages of 41, 8, and 6 on 51% shooting and 40% from 3. And this wasn't even the best playoff series statistically. MJ was on the top of his game, and his basketball IQ, winning mentality, and physical dominance all synced in perfect harmony. Jordan showed his otherworldly ability to beat an opponent one-on-one, separate double teams, attack the rim, but also to find open teammates. If we compare the 1993 Jordan to his early NBA years, the growth was evident. When it was needed, he was pressing full court defensively. When nobody could score, he recognized it and carried the Bulls. And when he got doubled, he gave up the ball without trying to be a hero. In terms of basketball skills, Jordan was physically a much stronger player who became a master of footwork and post-up game. When he reached the desired position with his back to the basket, he'd turn and stay in the air for what felt like an hour longer than his opponent, only to hit a patented turnaround jumper, clean as a whistle. The memories of anyone doubting him were long forgotten. Everybody knew he was the best player alive.
When it comes to shimmy phase, when it comes to any type of phase shot, I'm talking about any type of phase shot, it's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. There's no debate about that. When it comes to the toughest phase ever in NBA history, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Vintage. You knew it was about to happen. You still couldn't stop it. Vintage. Yeah.
And many believed after that three-peat, he was already the best of all time. My love for this game is strong. I'm going to be here as long as my love is strong, Jordan told reporters after the finals in a champagne-soaked locker room. However, just 1 month later, his father was killed, and Jordan retired from basketball for a year and a half. The love for basketball was put...
Okay, all right. Okay. Because I was trying to... That was around the same time. Okay. That's why he retired. That's how tough that was for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about it. His whole goal was to be the best player in the league. But what triumphed over all that was his family. And when his dad passed away, when his dad got, unfortunately, like, which is crazy. Like, MJ just felt like he couldn't play basketball no more. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. And then, bro, then the courage to come back. Oh no, that's crazy. That's crazy. Because I'm looking at the standpoint of his overall goal was to be the best player in the NBA ever. But something like this happened, he didn't even want to have nothing to do with it for a period of time. Because that's how much his dad meant to him. Man, I'm getting emotional.
Put on hold.
I had him for 32 years, and he taught me a lot in 32 years. You know how many kids get that opportunity? Very few.
That's true.
In today's society, get the chance to spend that much time with their parents. Yep. Get that type of influence.
18 months and a stint in minor league baseball later, and the itch for the game became too strong. So Jordan released arguably the most famous two-word press release of all time.
It came in a two-word statement, which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it, quote unquote.
Well, I bet the world went crazy when he said he was coming back.
It didn't take Jordan too much time to show that he
I bet the world shook when he said he was coming back.
In just the fifth game after his return, he poured in 55 points against the Knicks in the infamous double nickel game.
This is off of retirement. This is coming back off of retirement. This brother hasn't lost any kind. He hasn't lost anything as far as his game. He hasn't lost anything. 55? Come on, Jordan.
But overall, MJ struggled with his shot, shooting a career-low 41% from the field. And it turned out that playing baseball for a year and a half took a bite out of his greatness. Even the best players need to practice. And in the second round of the playoffs against Orlando, things didn't go according to plan. Even though Michael averaged 31 points on 48% shooting, the Bulls weren't as strong inside. Horace Grant, who used to be their starting power forward, was now playing for Orlando. And together with a young Shaq, the Magic simply outmuscled the Bulls in the paint. Many people will say the Bulls lost in '95 because Jordan wasn't in peak form after his baseball hiatus. And there is some truth to that. But Jordan actually averaged his usual numbers. Really, basketball is just a team sport. And they lost because Orlando was much bigger and deeper than them. Thankfully, the Bulls management knew that too.
Last week, the Bulls announced the acquisition of a player many people consider the most controversial basketball star in the NBA.
Dennis Rodman.
They added Dennis Rodman to the team, the best rebounder of all time, and one of the fiercest defensive players ever.
I don't care. Whatever. What's up?
A year before, they also added Steve Kerr.
The
most accurate three-point shooter
Slick
ever.
Steve. Look, Slicky Steve. Boy, Steve, you got some... Boy, Steve, Steve got some sauce. Steve low-key got some aura, too. I ain't gonna lie. Steve got some aura. They cooked up. Jordan came back. They lost that series to the Magic. They said, hold on. We got to get something else. We got to fix this. Because, okay, I see. Okay, y'all made some adjustments. Ain't nothing like making some arrangements. Come on.
Together with a defensive dog, Ron Harper, and
Tony Kukoc,
power forward in the NBA, MJ had the best supporting cast in the league. In the 1996 season, the Bulls were so good that they became only the second team in NBA history to lead the NBA in offensive and defensive rating. And their plus 13.4 net rating is still the best ever. Their 72-10 record was the best of all time, and of course, Jordan won an MVP, averaging 36-4. As for the playoffs, there was no stopping the Bulls. Only the Sonics in the finals showed any kind of resistance, and Gary Payton was the first defender to have slowed down Michael. But he couldn't beat him, and Chicago won their fourth title.
Y'all find me a video, if there's any kind of video, because I've been asking this question: was there anybody that kind of slowed slowed Michael Jordan down, anybody that made it extremely tough on Michael Jordan, lo and behold, it was Gary Payton. I need a freaking video on that just to see. And you know what I'm saying? Gary, they still didn't win, but still, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to see like who really tried to like go at Jordan for real, just as much as Jordan was trying to go for them. No, Gab.
With Michael crying his guts out in the locker room because it was the first championship he won without his father.
Yeah.
I know he's watching. This is my daddy. I'm very happy for him.
He's a voice of reason that always drove and challenged me. That's the type of father I am.
Like a friend.
Yeah, like a friend.
And when the 1997 season started, the Bulls continued to rule the NBA. With 4 Hall of Famers, the most accurate three-point shooter of all time, and other excellent role players, no team could match up with Chicago. Running the triangle like a well-oiled machine, the Bulls dominated the regular season with 69 wins, and getting to the finals seemed like a walk in the park, as they only lost 2 games in 3 playoff series. But in the finals, it wasn't that easy, because they played the formidable duo of Stockton and Malone and the Utah Jazz. This series would be remembered by the infamous flu game, where Jordan suffered from food poisoning and had a fever before the pivotal Game 5. When
clarification, it was food poisoning. It was not the flu. See, I gotta keep doing my research because I get to know. I thought this brother actually had the flu when I first reacted to this that whole performance. I thought it was the actual flu. Come to find out, it was only food poisoning. But still, I mean, the brother was still sick and still went out there and did what he did and won the game. So that's major.
When the series was tied, but Jordan played through the illness and managed to squeeze every atom of strength to score 38 points, and the Bulls won 90-88. In Game 6, Jordan trusted Steve Kerr with the final shot.
Stevie.
Kerr hit a jumper for the win in the final seconds.
Oh, clutch Kerr.
However, when the 1998 season started, the Bulls were running on fumes. Pippen had injury problems and disputes with management, and Rodman was more reckless than ever. But they still had Michael. Even though he wasn't as athletic as before and his efficiency decreased, Jordan was still capable of winning games by himself. The Bulls finished with 62 wins despite Pippen missing half the season. And that's why Jordan was named NBA MVP for the 5th time. In the playoffs, the Bulls survived the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Finals, winning Game 7 by 5 points. And then, in the finals, Utah awaited again, hungrier than ever. In a tough defensive series where neither team scored 100 points, Jordan proved his clutch factor once again, hitting arguably the most famous shot in NBA history over Byron Russell.
What made that so... What made that shot so crazy is the fact that he got the steal before he made that brother just fall on almost broke his leg. Brother was on one leg struggling. Jordan said, "Hey, you just stay right there. I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with this cross, shoot this little jumper fade for a game, for the championship." I think this is for the championship.
With the lead! 6 championships in 8 years, with 6 awards for the Finals MVP, and Jordan achieved basketball immortality.
And if this is the final chapter, what a way to close the book.
After 1998, Jordan retired for the 2nd time, which was the end of his prime, and we can sum up his career with the Bulls in 3 parts. The first part being between 1984 and 1990, when he was easily the most athletic player in the NBA, a scoring machine, beating players with speed, and leaving defenders stuck in the mud. But basketball is a team sport, and Jordan didn't have enough quality teammates around him, and those who he did have, he didn't trust.
But he learned, though.
The second part was the first three-peat, when he slowed down a bit and wasn't going 100 miles per hour on every possession. MJ was then physically stronger, he became a master of all facets of the game, improved his shot, and started trusting his teammates. And then came the second three-peat, where the Bulls had the deepest and most versatile team in the NBA. The Bulls with Pippen, rookie Kukoc, and Kerr won 55 games in the 1994 season, and they played without Jordan, Rodman, and Harper, who was maybe the most underrated teammate MJ ever had. When they all got together in 1996, it was game over for the league. But having good teammates is essential to winning in the NBA, especially when you're past your physical prime. Jordan lost a chunk of his quickness during the second three-peat, but that's like when a Ferrari loses 100 horsepower. It's still faster than almost anything else on the road. And that answers the question, how good was Michael Jordan actually? Even when he wasn't at his best, Jordan was still the best player in the league. If you divide his career into 3 parts, each part would suffice for a Hall of Fame career. In his first 6 seasons, Jordan didn't win a ring, but he was the most electrifying athlete the NBA had ever seen, with unreal stats and winning all possible accolades.
Still Hall of Fame.
Repeat was Jordan at his best, showcasing a level of basketball that's rare and few, if any, have touched. And with his second
Still Hall of Fame.
the Bulls won 72, 69, and 62 games in the regular season. And
Wait, bro. Think about it. If Michael Jordan just played a piece of those 3 phases, he would still be in the Hall of Fame. If Michael Jordan only played for 1 3-peat his entire career, he would be in the Hall of Fame. If he would have played just that second 3-peat, that's it for his career, Hall of Fame. If he didn't win an NBA championship and was just electrifying, winning all these accolades, etc., he would still be in the Hall of Fame. So overall, shit, you might have to say that brother's the GOAT. I ain't going. You might have to say MJ is the GOAT. I ain't never think of it like that. I didn't never think about it like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. 3 different, I wouldn't say 3 different Jordans, but just 3 different, I'm going to say 3 different Michael Jordans. All could have went Hall of Fame. I mean, overall did. But I'm saying, if we was to only see a piece of the overall success, he would still be in the Hall of Fame. That's wild to me.
Off with 3 championship
That's wild
rings,
to me.
losing just 13 games in 12 playoff series from 1996 to 1998.
Wow.
The only season of his career where Jordan wasn't the best player in the league was probably just his rookie season. Jordan was the best player in the world for over a decade.
Sheesh.
Something that can be said only of 3 other players, Wilt, Kareem, and LeBron.
Yeah.
But while Kareem's individual and team accomplishments are similar to MJ's, Jabbar wasn't the best player on his team for 3 of his 6 championships.
Okay.
And he only has 2 finals MVPs compared to Jordan's 6.
Gotcha.
Wilt's scoring numbers from the 60s were impossible to reach even for Jordan, but he only won 2 titles and was constantly losing to Bill Russell. And finally, there's LeBron, who might be the most complete basketball player ever.
That's true.
And due to his longevity, he is the statistical GOAT. But LeBron only has 4 titles and has lost 6 times in the finals, including the 2011 dud against the Mavs, where he played a catastrophic series that cost Miami the championship. And that's something that never happened to Jordan. And because of his decade of dominance, a 6-0 record in the finals, with 6 finals MVPs, and the biggest impact on NBA popularity worldwide, it's hard to say that Jordan wasn't the greatest player to ever touch a basketball. Speaking of Jordan, we've got another video about him and Pippen. You simply...
Man. Well, I guess that tells it. I guess any kind of doubt I had in my mind, this video explained it all. Yeah. MJ was the GOAT. MJ. Oh my goodness, boy. That's insane. This was insane. Ain't nothing like just learning about a come-up story and learn about the different accolades, the different things that Jordan had to go through in order to be Michael freaking Jordan in the long run. That's awesome. I ain't gonna lie. Because it shows the ups, but it also shows the downs too. And when those two come together and present the overall success of what happened based on never giving up, that's what I'm here for. That's what I love to see. No cap, great video. This was awesome. This is amazing. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I know y'all gonna say I talk too much, but at the end of the day, this is a reaction video. I think I'm doing y'all a disservice. I'm just sitting here just watching the video and not commentating, talking, and reacting, giving my own opinion about it and sharing it with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So, because at the end of the day, that's what y'all here for. You know what I'm saying? So, long reaction, but it was very much so worth it. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Peace out. Love. Make sure y'all subscribe. Thank you.